At the center of everything is the 7 levers framework. This is a strategic framework to help you get control of your business and create growth. There are 3 main elements of the framework. First, and most importantly, are the 7 levers of business themselves. These are the 7 drivers of profit present in any business. When implementing the 7 levers to get growth in your business, then we focus on the concept of 10% wins. 10% wins are achievable, sustainable results that compound together to give you growth. In fact, 7 10% wins compounding together can double your profit. And the final of these main elements is the 6 C's, a checklist to guide you through implementing the framework and achieving that growth. The different parts of the framework can be used together for both profit foundation and profit growth. Profit foundation is where you get control of your business and create a solid foundation for growth. Profit growth is where you actually implement the 10% wins across your business to double your profit. To support the 7 levers framework and to support you implementing the 7 levers framework in your business, we have created a series of tools. The first of these is the 7 levers canvas, a visual tool that you can use as a roadmap and a visual guide to help you work through the 7 levers in whatever phase, be it profit foundation or profit growth. It's also a tracking sheet that you can use to record any data as you work through. Secondly, we created the Deltas Canvas, and the Deltas Canvas supports you in planning and implementing your 10% wins. The 7 levers of business are the 7 drivers of profit that are present in any business. And they are the key things you need to pay attention to. There are many, many things in a business that you need to keep an eye on. Operational aspects, functional aspects, all manner of things. But in order to maximize profit, these are the 7 key areas. Let's start by looking at a simplified model of a business. This box represents a business. And according to Mike Michalowicz in his book Profit First, he puts forward the idea that we should start with defining the profit that we want to get from our business and working backwards from there, rather than working forwards from sales and then taking expenses away to get to our profit. So basically, he's saying start with the bottom line and work from there. So let's map in that bottom line into this box. The other parts of a business, the parts that feed into that bottom line, are the sales funnel and the revenue. And the revenue itself is made up of the front end revenue and the back end revenue. Front end revenue being the initial sales that are made, and the back end revenue is any additional sales that can be made to repeat customers. So this model should look familiar to you, as it's basically the model or the profit journey, as we call it, in any business. So the money comes in by people going through the sales funnel, you converting that to revenue, both front end and back end revenue, and then addressing the bottom line in terms of expenses, and finally profit. So let's look at our simplified business model and see where the 7 levers fit in that model. Starting with the sales funnel, a sales funnel can be broken down into 3 parts. The first part is suspects. The suspects are the people who discover you or your business for the first time. So this is the first engagement with your business. Prospects are people who show you they are interested in buying from you. And these are people who make some form of micro commitment to show you that they are more than just looking. And finally, conversions. These are the people who buy from you. So the people who become a customer. Those are the 3 elements of the sales funnel. The front end revenue is made up of 2 parts that you can control and that can address profit. The first part is the average item price. This is the average value across all the items sold in a period. And the second element is the average items per sale. This is the average number of items sold in a transaction. So across all transactions, you need to work out the average number of items in a transaction. The back-end revenue is the transaction lever. This is the number of times a customer buys something from you. So this is basically how you handle repeat customers. And finally, the bottom line, the lever we're calling margins. And this is your overall profit margin across the business. And this is, quite simply put, revenue minus expenses. So these are the 7 levers of business: suspects, prospects, conversions, average item price, average items per sale, transactions, and margins. They represent the full range of operations in your business: marketing, sales, operations, staff, supply chain, the whole range of the business. And what's important here is that you need to pay attention to them all. You need to work on them all, improving them all, maintaining them all. This is so that you can create a balanced, sustainable business. You spread the load across the business and you make sure that each part is functioning properly rather than just focusing on one area. So you need to monitor all of these parts and work on improving them, because once you've mapped the 7 levers to your business, you can first perform a health check using these 7 levers as a guide to make sure that each area of your business is operating properly. And then when you've created this foundation for growth, you can apply the 10% wins principle across each of the 7 levers, improving each area of the business by just 10% to double your profits.